We're very glad that we were invited to be a part of this event today. Just a brief history about mammoth shooting. It started in the early 90s and it got its start in Arizona. And since then it's spread clear across the United States. There's clubs in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. It's since spread up here to Canada, as well as Sweden, Germany, and I think they have a little bit of interest in Finland and Denmark, and possibly Australia. So it's quickly gaining popularity across the country. I've got 3 shooters here that are Albertans. So let's go ahead and get started and have a little fun. Nels is going to shoot the stage for us first. All right, well, if you folks noticed, I don't know if you could see from where you're at, but the pistols that we shoot are a single action 45 long pull, which means every time you want to pull that trigger, you have to pull the hammer back. So it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination just to even get started with the rimfire. I know that your laws up here are a little bit more restrictive, especially on handguns, so if anybody has any questions about that, the Canadian mounted shooters and the Alberta mounted shooters have a booth, and there's lots of people there that would be happy to answer any of your questions. Another thing that you noticed is Nels packed 2 pistols, okay? Even though these are 6 shooters, we only load 5 rounds in each gun as a safety measure. So you'll notice he shot the white balloons, and then he had to change guns, draw his second gun, and shoot the last 5 balloons. Now, how many of you noticed the smoke that came out of the guns? Okay? We're not shooting live ammunition, okay, because that wouldn't be spectator friendly. So, the ammunition that we shoot is a specially prepared black powder blank, and depending on how it's loaded, the optimum range on it is 12 to 15 feet. The maximum range for the competition blanks, the standard in the United States, is not over 20 feet, so that's a safety measure. There's 3 major ammo suppliers in the United States. I believe that there are some people up here that are now loading some blank ammunition. Another thing that we do to try to be safe and be kind to our horses, I don't know if you noticed, but all of these horses have earplugs, okay? First thing I do when I want to start a shooting horse is I teach him to wear earplugs. That's just a real quick, brief introduction, but does anybody have any questions real quick? Any questions from the audience so far? No? All right. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and have Sarah shoot this pattern. This is a pretty basic pattern. There's lots of different ways you can shoot it. So I like to use this pattern because whether it's a beginner or an advanced shooter, there's different options that they can shoot it whereas they feel comfortable. So I'm going to have Sarah go ahead, shoot this pattern, and I'm going to have her shoot all strong shots. It'll keep it easy. It'll keep the pattern flowing for her. Nice smooth low. That's a great beginning level speed. She kept it nice and smooth. It was easy for her and her horse. She had plenty of time for her shots. And if you notice, she had excellent shooting form. She had her arms straight and locked on every target that she pulled the trigger. All right, Nels, are you loaded? Okay, the horse that Nels is riding is a rope horse that I put about 3 months of training on last summer to get him gun rope. And for any of you that have a horse that you think might do this and you might want to get started, horses that have done other disciplines like roping, team penning, cutting, you want a really, really broke horse that's pretty solid to get started. And they're a lot easier to get gun broke because they're already very, very well broke. Okay, I'm going to have Nell shoot this a little different. He's going to go on the inside, a little extra, a little tighter. But again, he's going to strong shoot all of these shots. You hit all of them. Okay, now if you folks will notice, Nell stayed on the inside of all these cones. Now if I was going to critique this run, I would change one thing. Nell's went on the outside of this cone. Okay, an ideal position would have been on the inside of this cone because this is a timed event. So the more steps you take, the more time it takes. But overall, that was a very, very nice run. That was a men's level 2 speed right there. Go ahead and run this last pattern for you. I myself am a level 6 shooter, and the horse that I'm riding, I've won last year, the 2010 World Championships. I won the Eliminator and the double down on. So we'll give you a little taste of a higher level.